Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Legally Blind, where just like Lady Justice, we only see facts. Today, we are viewing the case of People versus God. Now, what is this about? It's about city conservation versus economic prosperity. What is more important? What is at stake? Gold's livelihood. Now, did Logan Gold kidnap Taylor Alexander, or did Taylor frame him? Now, for some context, Logan Gold, a resident of a small town Emerald Band, whose spouse, Harper DeRay, was running for city council, but then Taylor Alexander, a candidate who also is running for city council, called the police, and what they found out would never let the small city forget. Let's do a little timeline real quick. First of all, we will bring up Taylor Alexander's habit of running every day at 5 a.m. and how he was unknown, as well as talking about that was about the time he got kidnapped on November 11th. Secondly, on the day of November 11th, Logan Gold was being restless and woke up early to put a flyer for Harper DeRay and their campaign. He left around 8:30 and got to Lakeside Drive around 9. Lakeside Drive is very important because that is where Taylor had a rental property and would eventually be taken. Thirdly, on November 11th at 9:30, C.J. Costley saw Logan Gold putting flyers on his porch. On November 11th at 10 a.m., Alex Sandoval arrived at the debates and saw both electoral teams, and Taylor's team was calling his name, and DeRay looked nervous. Fifthly, at 12 p.m. on November 11th, the debate had been scheduled to start, but Alexander did not arrive, and Logan Gold wasn't there, which was out of character. At 12:30 p.m., Logan came in looking frantic. Sixthly, at 2:45 p.m., Deputy Kim received a call from Alexander stating he had been kidnapped and he is at his property at 1335 Lakeside Drive. Deputy Kim went to the property and found some pretty interesting evidence. Lastly, on December 4th, 2023, after taking all the witness statements and collecting the evidence, Deputy Kim arrested Gold and read them their Miranda rights. Our next segment is the witness spotlight, and we will have our witness analyst, Joshua, give you their credibility and what they're going to talk about. So, off to Joshua.
Hello, I'm Joshua, and today we'll be talking about 8 witnesses for this case. Witness number 1, Deputy Kim. Deputy Kim reported to 1335 Lakeside Drive to look into a phone call they received from Taylor Alexander at 2:45 p.m. Arriving to the scene, Deputy Kim found Taylor Alexander in his rental property all muddy and with a pillowcase that had the words written on it, "Doors for Emerald Bend" with Sharpie. Deputy Kim also found some blue tack rope and some tire tracks at the scene. After taking pictures and collecting evidence, Deputy Kim took Taylor Alexander to Dr. Forrest for a toxicology report. After investigating the Doors campaign and the Alexander campaign, Deputy Kim arrested Logan Gold on December 4th, 2023 for the kidnapping of Taylor Alexander. Furthermore, witness number 2, Taylor Alexander himself. Taylor Alexander was abducted on November 11, 2023 on a morning run and blindfolded with something. Thrown into the back of a car, driven somewhere, eventually tied to a chair. Later, Taylor Alexander was drugged with a sweet substance twice. Then, after he woke up, he found that the pillowcase was on him with the words written, "Doors for Emerald Bend." Alexander believes Logan Gold is responsible for this for a political reason, for Harper Doors to win and to stop vacation rentals. Witness number 3, Dr. Ray Forrest. Dr. Ray Forrest conducted the toxicology analysis on Taylor Alexander, finding high concentration of toxylamine. Dr. Forrest determines that the wrist injuries on Taylor are ligature marks from 3A rope that was found in the shed, as well as examining and determining that the tire tracks match Logan Gold's car. Witness number 4, Ellie Sandoval. Ellie Sandoval was covering the city council race as a journalist and was present on the debate to hear that Logan Gold tell Doors it's all been taken care of. After Taylor Alexander failed to arrive, the debate was cancelled. Witness number 5, Logan Gold. Logan Gold is the spouse and assistant campaign manager of Harper Doris, who on the day of the debate went to hang up flyers near the lake. Logan saw and talked to C.J. Costley for a while, and then Logan left on the hidden fire road. Then Gold's car stopped working. Gold got it to work eventually, but made it late to the debate and saw that Taylor Alexander wasn't there. Later, on December 4th, 2023, Logan Gold was arrested for the abduction of Taylor Alexander. Witness number 6, Harper Doris. Harper Doris, a lifelong resident of Emerald Bend, was competing for city council to stop vacation rentals and preserve the town's character. Harper later won the position of city council, but saw that Logan was eventually arrested by Deputy Kim for the kidnapping of Taylor Alexander on December 4th, 2023. When Doris went to go see Gold in jail, Harper Doris felt intimidated by Deputy Kim and felt like it wasn't fair that Deputy Kim was there listening to them. Witness number 7, Dr. Cody Palmer. Dr. Cody Palmer disagrees with Dr. Ford's report because a high level of toxylamine in Alexander's bloodstream at 4:45 means that a big dose was given later in that day. As well, that Alexander's memory could be foggy because of the effects of toxylamine. Finally, the rope literature marks and the type drugs can't be used to link Logan Gold to the crime because type drugs are not enough evidence to suggest a kidnapping. And as well, many cars in the Lakeside Drive area have a bunch of rocks on the front of gravel roads. Finally, witness number 8, CJ Costley. CJ Costley, a resident of Emerald Bend that was covering the race in their podcast, stating no initial bias towards any candidate, but noticing that Taylor is aggressive towards Harper and Gold. While Harper and Logan Gold didn't do the same, CJ Costley saw Logan on the day of the debate passing out flyers and even talking to them. Deputy Kim is not biased towards any side and is just doing the job they signed up for. As well, witness 2, there's many inconsistencies with Taylor Alexander. Seeing that Taylor Alexander didn't even try to fight off his captor, having keys in his pocket the whole time, and possibly framing Logan Gold to secure the public to vote for him.
For our next segment, we have the exhibit breakdown, and a shout out to our exhibit analyst, Oliver, for his work. I'll be reading the notes he has given me. Exhibit A is a map of Emerald Bend showing key points. This is important because it is not only shows us key locations related to the case, like 1335 Lakeside Drive, but it could also give us vital information on where Logan Gold would exactly have been before the debate. Another note, the map I believe was created by Deputy Kim. I personally believe that this map could help either side of the case. It could help the prosecution by convincing the jury, since Logan Gold was already seen at Costley's house at 9:30 a.m. He could have easily been down the road, still on tying Alexander to the chair. It could help the defense by convincing the jury that it is possible that if Gold's car did break down, it would have taken him a long time to get off the fire road and back in time for the election, which was 4.5 miles away. Next up, we have our second exhibit, Exhibit C, the toxicology report ordered by Dr. Ray Forrest. The toxicology report was made to see the blood results of Taylor Alexander after the alleged kidnapping and to see what drug was given. The time and date the test was taken was November 11th, 2023 at 4:45 p.m. and was a blood test. Their blood type was O positive, and they had 160 nanograms of doxylamine per milliliter. Dr. Forrest believes that Taylor had 2 doses of the drug, one big one, about roughly 37.5 milligrams, and a smaller one later in the day. They state that it is entirely possible for them to wake up after 4 hours after the second dosage. Dr. Cody, who also reviewed the report, claimed that there were also 2 dosages given, but they were both large amounts. They're not sure about the initial dosage size. They know since Alexander had so much doxylamine in his blood by 4:45, the second dosage was most likely a large amount as well. Dr. Forrest explanation helps the prosecution by convincing the jury that Taylor was coherent and cognitive enough to call Deputy Kim and to have enough recollection of the kidnapping, as well as knowing he was on his property. And there's also their argument with the evidence with the help of Dr. Palmer. Dr. Palmer says that it is surprising that Alexander was coherent enough to call the police, and how they also say that the drug could mess with your memory and give you vivid dreams. This also ties into the defense's argument, because if Taylor truly did have this amount of drugs in him, how was he coherent enough to know where he was? And this could help convince the jury that he kidnapped himself. Our final exhibit would be Exhibit D, the blue dog line rope. This piece of evidence is what Taylor Alexander claimed he was tied up with while he was tied to the chair when he was kidnapped at his property. It was collected by Deputy Riley Kim and given to Dr. Ray Forrest for analysis. Dr. Ray Forrest stated that they could only find Taylor's DNA on the rope. They stated that the rope matches the ligature marks on Alexander's wrist, and it's possible to bind oneself, but to get out it would be very difficult. The rope was also examined by Dr. Cody Palmer, and they agreed that only Taylor's DNA was on it. But they said, well, it's difficult for one to escape. By pulling the tail end of the rope, it is possible. For the defense, this is vital because it proves Logan did not touch the rope and only Taylor did, which aligns with the theory that he kidnapped himself. While the counter-argument could be that the kidnapper could have worn gloves, the prosecution could use this evidence alongside the receipt that Logan had stated he bought the blue line docking rope to convince the jury that there's too many coincidences that it's the same style of rope that Taylor was tied with, and overall just raised suspicion on Logan's side. Now let's talk about our two theories. The prosecution theory is that Logan Gold kidnapped Taylor Alexander in order to help his hotel business. If Harper DeRay won, it would have helped Logan's business by limiting vacation rentals and having his business would get hit. Logan had too much to lose, so he made sure that Harper
Had too much to lose.
won selection by any means necessary. A hotel prosper. If Taylor won, vacation rentals would have more advantages than Logan's hotel. The defense theory is that Logan did not kidnap Taylor, but Taylor, in fact, kidnapped himself and framed Logan. Why did he do this? To win the debate, or to win the election, in order to give profit to himself, because he himself owns vacation rentals. If Harper DeRay won, then hotel rentals would be limited to have certain laws which could greatly affect Taylor. If Taylor won, he could make hotel rentals more, easier to rent out, and it would overall give him since he owned vacation rentals. In order for Taylor to win, he kidnapped himself and framed Logan Gold, Harper DeRay's partner, which would make both of them look bad and ensure his victory. Our next segment is the objection moment, and the question is being asked to Deputy Riley Kim, and it goes as such. Quote, Deputy, after reading Logan their Miranda rights, why did he decide to conversate with them if they invoked their Miranda rights? The objection would be leading. A simpler way to ask this, why does this objection apply? This is because it is looking for such a specific answer, which is I wanted to make them feel comfortable. This would be asked during the direct examination. How could you fix this? You could instead say, after reading Golden Miranda rights, what if anything did he do after? And finally, we will talk about our closing take. Our strongest evidence would be the blue line docking rope and the toxicology report. The blue docking rope proves that only Taylor had touched the rope and would help the defense. The toxicology report from Dr. Palmer stated that there was no way that Taylor could have been coherent enough to call the police. The weakest link out of the whole discussion would be that only one person saw Logan Gold, allegedly on Lakeside Drive, putting up posters, and they were both already acquainted. What would I do to argue to win? If I was on the defense side, I would argue that Logan Gold is innocent beyond a reasonable doubt because the sheer amount of evidence found that Taylor kidnapped himself, like the toxicology report and the rope. If I was on the prosecution side, I would argue that Logan had too much to lose if Taylor won his family business. That was in his family generations, and only one person allegedly seen him and them already being friends. I've lost him come late to the debate, even though he knew how important it was. There are too many coincidences. Thank you everybody for tuning in to Legally Blind, and I want to shout out Oliver and Joshua. They did really good. I'm proud of them, and yeah, see you guys on the next episode.